Yo, what's going on, guys? 32 people in here. Give it a couple minutes before we start talking. What's up, Conrad? You always one of the first people in here, whether it be the private live stream or these public ones. What's up, Adam? What's up, Wilder? Rhythm Beast, what's up, man? When did you win that season pass? It wasn't too long ago. Hope you're enjoying it. Thoughts on Robin Lopez? Nah, I'm not on Lopez tonight. It's only when I'm working from home, yeah. With him beat out, who's your go-to? Is it Boban? I think Boban's price is too high right now. It's really between. You see, all the numbers are really skewed with the Sixers without Embiid, just because Tobias is so new to the team. I think so. I want to go with the cheaper guys. I want to go with Tobias. He's pretty cheap on both sides. Butler's a decent play, I guess, and then I think Simmons. I like Simmons. I like his 8K price point on DraftKings, where you can play him at point guard and small forward. But yeah, I like Tobias the most in that range. How about Brook Lopez? Yeah, Brook Lopez is a solid play. I'd rather go down to a guy like Kelly Olynyk at 3.9K if I'm punting center. Because most of my power forward and center plays are going to be like Valanciunas, Bagley, guys like that. But anyways, I was going to go big game by game in this. I'll answer questions throughout, so keep them coming in, and I'll start answering them. And of course, if you're a member, you join the private live stream before block, and literally all your questions will be answered there to the best of my ability. What do you think about a Sacramento stack? Yeah, I don't like stacking Sacramento all that much anymore, just because they're healthy now. I think the only guy that's out is Corey Brewer. So with everyone healthy, it's hard for me to get to any of those guys outside of like Bagley. Maybe a cheap Bogdanovich, I don't mind. Healed in GPP if he can catch fire. But yeah, there's a lot of good games on this slate. With Miles Turner, questionable still. He went through shoot around, so I'm expecting he plays. But even if he misses somehow, and O'Quinn gets to start again, he's been playing 21 minutes. Him and Sabonis have been splitting the center minutes. They're facing a Pistons team who, one of the few teams in the league, run that jumbo front court. And we see in the past where they'll play Miles Turner and Sabonis at the same time for 4 or 5 minutes game. Depending on the matchup and stuff. And so if Turner misses and we can get Kyle O'Quinn at 4.3K on DraftKings, I believe he's still 3.9K on FanDuel. I think that he gets a couple extra minutes because him and Sabonis play next to each other against this Pistons front court. So I think he would become one of the top values of the day. But luckily it's one of the first games, so we'll know before then. But yeah, I like Kyle O'Quinn in that situation. Sabonis's price has gone up quite a bit, but would rather go to a guy like Kyle Quinn, who's a bit cheaper. Valanciunas over Boban, yeah. I mean, this matchup is pretty scary for Boban, just because it is such a fast-paced game. The thing I like about it the most, about this game in general, and why I want to have at least a couple players from this game, you would think I'm probably going to limit myself to just like one or two. But the over-under opened at 238. It's moved up 3 points to 241, with only 43% of the bets on the over. So sharp money is pretty heavy on this game to hit the over. 241 by far the highest on the slate. But we got other games. They're in the 230s, like this Rockets-Hawks game. But that game projects to be a blowout, at least with the 76ers game. It's only a 1-point spread. Best value small forward on FanDuel, probably going to be Derek Jones for me at minimum price. Small forward is really ugly over there on FanDuel. I don't mind him. It's a really ugly position. I want to pay down. I don't mind Josh Richardson over there. I think let me bring up the injury reports and stuff. So we got Winslow, Magruder are both questionable right now. Well, they're doubtful, actually, not supposed to play. James Johnson not supposed to play either. So I think that opens up a lot of point guard minutes for Josh Richardson while he's on the court, because Dragic is still coming off the bench, still limited. He missed 2 months, came back, played like I believe 15 or 16 minutes last game. I expect this around the same this game. So if Josh Richardson can get most of the point guard minutes, hopefully he's been averaging like 0.77 fantasy points for the longest time. So if he can get point guard minutes and he's handling the ball rather than Winslow and Magruder, I think he averages about a fantasy point per minute. And he should play 36, 38 minutes in this game. In a pace-up game against the Phoenix Suns. Suns over the past month have been like the second fastest team in the league. Dreadful on defense. I believe they've lost 17 games in a row. Really, really bad team. So I don't mind Josh Richardson on either side. On DraftKings, I think there's better plays in that price range, but on FanDuel, where small forward's really weak and there's no multi-position eligibility, I like Josh Richardson a good bit. Markkinen or Harris, yeah, that's a tough one. Just because Markkinen is like a full 1,000 plus more on each site. It really just depends on the roster construction. I do like Markkinen quite a bit more than Harris, but if you need that savings and you can upgrade somewhere greatly, yeah, I don't mind going down to Harris. I think Harris is solid for 38, 40 points tonight, but I think Markkinen has a really high upside, 50 plus fantasy points. Given that Giannis has gone from that team and he's going to get defense from Mirotic, it could be promising for Lauri Markkinen. And obviously, Chris Dunn and Otto Porter are doubtful, not supposed to play. So usage should be through the roof for Lauri Markkinen and Zach LaVine today. Any love for Tyler Johnson? Yeah, man. It's really hard for me. His minutes are going to be there. His games since being back and playing with Booker have been all over the place. He's had some really good games, some really, really poor games, but nonetheless, the minutes should be pretty solidified, 32, 33, 34 minutes. It's a tough game against the Miami Heat, who are good defensively. His price at 4.7K, don't mind it. But I think I would rather go with a guy like Dion Waiters or even Elfrid Payton, who I think is a great GPP play today, just because Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis are both limited to 25, around the 25-minute mark. I know Drew played into the 30s last game, but I expect this game with Anthony Davis back that his minutes come down a bit. Elfrid Payton should play 34, 35 minutes. They want to see what they have in him. Yeah, I don't mind Elfrid Payton in that range. I like him more than Tyler Johnson. Centers today, yeah, I mean, there's just a plethora of them. If you're paying up, I want to pay up for a guy like Karl-Anthony Towns coming back. Jeff Teague, I'm expecting to be out. If Jeff Teague is out, by the way, Derrick Rose, probably the most smash play on the slate, has been performing well, but his price has been dropping just because he hasn't been getting the minutes because Teague has been healthy. But if Teague is out, he's going to play 34, 36 minutes and average well over a fantasy point per minute, only 5.4K on DraftKings. I think he's 5.5K on FanDuel, like him both sites. But yeah, back to the point of the centers. Yeah, Cat's easily my favorite high upside play or highest price play. Then we got guys like Jonas Valanciunas, like I talked about in the video. And my favorite value play is probably Kelly Olynyk at 3.9K with James Johnson out. And we saw last game, Kelly Olynyk was on here. Let me look it up. He was on pace to play around 30 minutes that game, but he got in early foul trouble in the second quarter. Missed, I believe, 4 or 5 minutes due to that. I was looking at it on Popcorn Machine, and then the game blew out, so he lost minutes to that as well. So he was going to play 30-plus minutes that game, and I expect the same this game. 3.9K is hard not to play. Payton and Cash. I mean, I don't mind Payton and Cash. I think he's okay. D'Lo, a sneaky pick. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very sneaky play. Yeah, you would think that the return of Karis LeVert would have changed things, but he's just in his bag right now, and his price is only at 8.4K. It had dropped. So yeah, I mean, his usage and assist percentage has been through the roof, and he's really the only Brooklyn net that's going to be playing 32 plus minutes, and he's been playing 34, 35 minutes, pretty consistently, barring foul trouble and blowouts. So in a soft matchup against San Antonio, who's shitful versus guards, I think D'Angelo Russell is a great GPP play. If I'm in that range, I think I would rather play Luka Doncic at 8.8K. But if you're looking at a good GPP play where the slate is going to be super, super chalky, I think D'Angelo Russell, one of the better GPP plays on the slate. Kevin Love, yeah, I talked about it earlier. I'll talk about it again. I was just looking at the minutes since he's came back. Yeah, and Kevin Love's 70 minutes since returning from injury. He has a 38.5% usage rating, 23.1 total rebound percentage, while averaging 1.66 fantasy points per minute. And his minutes are slowly creeping up. I believe he played 25 minutes last game. Let me look. He played 26 minutes last game, scored 54 fantasy points. I mean, he scores in bunches, and he's highly, highly efficient. If he can reach 30 minutes, I know this game could likely blow out against Portland, but Portland really doesn't tend to blow out teams that much, and the game is in Cleveland. So this game, if the game stays competitive, I could see Kevin Love putting up GPP winning numbers at 6.9K. Anthony Davis a steal at 8.1K? No. I mean, if you want to take a chance on him just like absolutely destroying the slate in 25 minutes, I guess you could take a chance on him. But I mean, if there was anyone in the league that would put up 50 fantasy points in just 25 minutes of play, it would be like Anthony Davis, Giannis, Russell Westbrook, one of those types. So I guess it's strictly GPP. I wouldn't touch it at 8.1K. Valanciunas or Towns for cash. I mean, it's pretty close. I think I like Valanciunas for the savings. If he plays anyway, if he even plays only 26 minutes, he easily pays off that price tag. Averaging over 1.5 fantasy points per minute since joining the Memphis Grizzlies. Jaren Jackson's still out. They like to play Joakim Noah at the 4, which gives more minutes for Valanciunas, and then even less minutes for Yvonne Robb. Yvonne Robb and Noah have pretty much been splitting the 4 minutes. Even Bruno has been splitting the 4 minutes, and I expect this game to go somewhat small with the Lakers' willingness to play Kuzma against traditional centers. So I think Valanciunas has an easy matchup tonight against Kuzma. And then he gets some minutes against McGee and Tyson Chandler, of course. But if he gets some minutes against Kuzma at the 5, he should absolutely destroy them. Not that McGee or Chandler would destroy or have any chance at all anyways. But yeah, I like Valanciunas quite a bit tonight. Yo, if you guys are in here, please drop a like on this video. It helps more than you would imagine. Gonna keep these up. Let me know what you guys think about them. Give me some criticism. Trying to get better at this. Of course, I'm not the best talker, but eventually I'll get better the more I do it. Markkanen, Bagley, or Harris, man. It's really close. I love all three of those guys quite a bit. Markkanen, obviously the higher price of the guys, but I think he's worth it tonight. Markkanen's too expensive at $39 on Yahoo. Wow. I didn't think he was that expensive over there. But yeah, I think he's worth it. I haven't played on Yahoo in a couple weeks. Been playing mostly on FanDuel, but yeah, the pricing can get weird over there. Stop saying peace at the end. Come on, man. LaVine over Markkanen, DK Wright, cheaper and better. Yeah, I like LaVine a good bit better. Like I said, he had a 38% usage rating with everyone off the court, but that's including a ton of guys. And it's only an 100-minute sample size. But who else is going to be taking usage away from these guys? From LaVine and Markkanen. It's just his assist percentage goes way up. Usage rate 38%. Should play heavy minutes, 36, 38 minutes. Like his price more on FanDuel. Well, I guess I really like his price on DraftKings as well at 7.4K. Hard for me not to like the guy. Jay Rich, Jay Collins, or Griffin. I'll take the savings on Josh Richardson. D-Wade, love him or not? Yeah, I love Dwayne Wade again. I mean, I've been on the Dwayne Wade train the last month or so, and he continuously, if you're a Locks member, you know this, like he's always between 4.5K and 5K. Sometimes he dips down to 4.3, 4.4K. His usage is over 30% right now. Assist percentage is the highest on the team when he's out there, even with Dragic being out. And then now that Justice Winslow, Magruder are both out, opens up backup point guard minutes, and just a ton of usage, ton of assist percentage to opening up. And Spoelstra already said a couple of days ago that, or I think during the All-Star break, that they were going to give him starters minutes moving forward. And if you look at Popcorn Machine, outside of blowouts, he's on pace to always play 30, 31 minutes. And if he gets 30, 31 minutes, averaging 1.17 fantasy points per minute, he's going to absolutely crush that price tag every single time. The only worry about Dwayne Wade today, about him, is that Brogdon is 5.4K, and we might get Derrick Rose without Jeff Teague, which would make it really hard for me to play Dwayne Wade, because regardless, I like Brogdon more. He averages about the same. He averages 1.17 fantasy points per minute with Giannis off the court, which is the same as Dwayne Wade in his current situation. But the difference is Brogdon, while both matchups are good, Brogdon facing Chicago, Wade facing the Suns, Brogdon is he'll end up playing like 34, 36 minutes with Giannis out. So those couple extra minutes of play makes me want to play Brogdon a bit more than Wade. But Wade in GPP is definitely great. Haven't they been limiting Rose's minutes? I don't think it's due to injury. I think they've just been playing Teague more in it. So if Teague is out, I think he plays 32, 34 minutes, and I think he's great in those minutes. I just want to get some pieces of that game any way I can. It's a 237.5 over under, and the spread is currently only 3.5. What's going on with that? Yeah, 3.5. I'm playing Waiters over Wade tonight. I mean, I don't blame you for that, just because the minutes are going to be pretty secure, and he might get some more ball handling duties with the starting lineup with Magruder and Winslow out. It's not going to just be Josh Richardson handling the ball. So, and we see that Dion Waiters is pretty much locked into 32, 34 minutes, barring foul trouble. And when he's out there, he's going to be chucking the ball, so I don't mind him. Can we hear your thoughts on Hassan Whiteside? I mean, obviously, any given night, Hassan Whiteside is an amazing GPP play, only 6.9K on DraftKings. It's an amazing matchup against the Suns, who I'm pretty sure give up the most points in the league to bigs, to centers. So it just really depends on how many minutes he gets. If Spoelstra ends up playing him 28, 30 minutes, he's going to probably break the slate. But if he only gets 20, 22 minutes, he's going to be a middling play. I prefer guys like Bagley and Valanciunas in cash games. But in GPP, I mean, Hassan Whiteside is obviously a great play, always will be. I don't mind him, I guess. Ty Johnson going to disappoint. I mean, I really wouldn't be that surprised. He's been shooting through the roof lately. And I just don't like him playing next to Devin Booker. Ball handling duties really aren't in his favor. But the price is still there, and the minutes are still there. Matchup isn't that great, and they're only projected for 103.75 points. So I don't like Tyler Johnson all that much. Would rather play a guy like Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton or Tyler Johnson? Yeah, Elfrid Payton. Thoughts on Middleton? Yeah, I think it's really funny today. I'm pretty sure Chris Middleton is going to be chalkier than Eric Bledsoe just because of the two weird games he had before his last game. Because he averages a full 0.25 fantasy points more than Middleton per minute with Giannis off the court. And unlike Middleton, Bledsoe doesn't rely on usage rating, and the usage rating could come down for both of them with Mirotic entering or on this team now. Could get a couple extra minutes with Giannis out. I'm pretty sure he'll have 24, 26 minutes. So Middleton relies super heavily on that usage rating. And if that dips down to 27% rather than the 31% with Giannis off the court, he could take a significant hit. But Bledsoe doesn't just rely on his 27% usage rating. He also has 38% assist percentage with Giannis off the court. So I think he's a lot safer than Chris Middleton. But both of the plays are great nonetheless. Did the bankroll management come to the end? No. So yeah, I've been talking about it a lot. The new website should be launching soon. I think the official launch date should be this Friday. And we're gonna come out with a new package that's gonna be super super cheap for you guys, and it's essentially just gonna be an all access package, but it's gonna be way cheaper than everything is right now. And then I'm gonna start it over then. You think Doncic minutes will be monitored? No. This late into the season, where they're really out of the playoff picture, I don't think they would bring back Doncic unless he was 100% fine. I mean, he's their star player, their rookie. I doubt that they would bring him back unless he was 100% confident that he was ready to play his full allotment of minutes. I think at 8.8K, he's a great play. Brogdon a lock alongside Middleton and Bledsoe. So yeah, he's pretty close to a lock on DraftKings, at least on FanDuel, where he's 6.2K. Don't like him nearly as much, especially when Zach LaVine is 8K. 1.8K is quite the difference, but I think LaVine absolutely blows it out of the water today, breaks the slate a bit. I'm really curious to see the ownership percentage on all these guys. D Rose of Teak sits, yeah, for sure. Noah narrative. It's his B day. Yeah, I'm not really about the B day narrative, but Joakim Noah would have been a great play today if he was facing any other team than the Lakers, who just want to play small whenever they possibly can. And I doubt that they throw out two bigs against him. And Joakim Noah isn't really going to take many minutes away from Jonas Valanciunas. So if he's not getting many minutes at the four, I struggle to see him getting there at that price tag. What about LeBron tonight? Yeah, LeBron is my favorite stud of the night, even more so than James Harden. Um, Here, let me bring up these numbers. I had them up earlier if I can find it. But yeah, we see that the Lakers have been starting LeBron at the point guard position with Rondo on the bench, and then Lonzo Ball still off the court. And when he's not playing with Rondo on the court, he's averaging 1.67 fantasy points per minute. And when James Harden is playing next to Chris Paul, Clint Capella, and Carmelo Anthony off the court, he's only averaging, I believe, I could be wrong. I want to say it's like 1.3 fantasy points per minute. Obviously, they stagger the minutes for both of those guys, so they get time by themselves. But I think that it's a lot closer than people think, because people just think it's an automatic James Harden play, which I think he's awesome. But all right, let me plug these numbers into NBA Wowie. Yeah, man. So James Harden in 428 minutes with playing alongside Clint Capella and Chris Paul, he's only averaging 1.25 fantasy points per minute. While I know that they're going to stagger the minutes, if half of the time that he's on the court, or if more than half the time that he's on the court, he's only averaging 1.25 fantasy points per minute, I would way rather play LeBron James, who averages 1.67 fantasy points per minute. I know the matchup is a bit different, a bit slower, well, a lot slower. LeBron James is not going to miss the playoffs if he has anything to say about it, or he's going to die trying. So yeah, I'd like LeBron James a lot more than James Harden. I think he's going to be really, really under-owned, just because much of the real value on the slate is in the mid-range, in the 6 and 7K range, 5, 6, 7K range. So if you are paying up for a guy, I have a pretty strong stand on playing LeBron James over James Harden tonight. What about Ben Simmons at 8K on DK? Fast paced game, no Embiid. I also feel like all these mid-price plays, it's hard to get LeBron and cash. Yeah, so paying up for a guy like LeBron, I think is better in GPPs rather than the cash games. In cash games, I think it's safer to go with the chalk and play all these mid-range guys who they're chalk for a reason. Sometimes there's bad chalk, but a lot of the chalk today is just really, really good. But you can't pay down for guys like Ryan Arcidiacono, Brogdon, Rose of Teague is out, Olynyk. waiters, and then get up to a guy like LeBron James, and then play a couple of the mid-range players. You could go that route, and I think it would be really contrarian in GPPs. Olynyk or Avon Rob? I like Olynyk more. Any love for Luka versus the Clips? Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing spot, averaging just around 1.45 fantasy points per minute with these current players. Pace up game against the Clippers. I mean, it's hard not to like him. He's only 8.8K on DraftKings. A bit priced out on FanDuel. He's priced appropriately on FanDuel, I guess I'll say, but like him more on DraftKings. Yo, if you guys enjoy these live streams, make sure to like the video, please, and then make sure to subscribe. Harkless and GPPs. Yeah, I've seen a lot of talk on Harkless today. I know that he's been playing really, really well yesterday, but his minutes really aren't there. He's just been incredibly efficient and playing way over his head lately. Those are the kind of guys I tend to fade and not fall for. If Teague is out, who do you like better, Brogdon or Rose? And does Tyus Jones become relevant in GPPs? Yeah, if Teague is out, I like Rose more. I would be more apt to play both, I guess. And does Tyus Jones become relevant in GPPs? I mean, yeah, he does. Tyus Jones definitely becomes relevant. Do you like Powell at 4,000? Nah, not really. Not with Mesri getting those minutes. FanDuel cash lock, probably Bledsoe and Middleton. I have some other locks over there, but I'll keep those for my members. Do you like Simmons, Levine, and DK Cash together? Yeah, I think that's fine. I love both those guys tonight. Any thoughts on Kemba Walker? 8.9K against Golden State. Big time dogs, even at home. I mean, if the game stays competitive, Kemba probably destroys. So I guess he's a good GPP play. Wouldn't play him in cash, though. How do you become a member? Just head to locksdfs.com. And we have a couple of packages there. But new website will be out this Friday. Do you like Andrew Wiggins? Nah, not really. He's kind of priced up. They started raising his price a lot when Cat was I guess 6.3K isn't the worst price tag in a pace up game against Sacramento. It's not the worst, but I hate guys like this that are so scoring dependent. And now with Cat back, his usage rate is going to go way down. How do you feel about the balance approach versus getting LeBron? And yeah, for the balance approach, I think it's more cash game, and then getting LeBron in is more GPP. I like nights like this when the chalk is actually really, really good because I feel better about getting into GPPs if I'm trying to at least min cash, just because when the chalk is really good and they're going to be lower owned in GPPs, it makes it really, really easy to cash in there. So a lot of the time, like I would not be surprised if today the cash lines in GPP were lower than the cash game lines. Something I've learned over the years of playing. Bazemore at Brogdon. I'll take Brogdon there. Although I think Bazemore is going to be super slept on tonight. I don't think many play him just because Horder's back. But Horder's he's starting, but he's limited to 20 minutes. But the big thing is Taurean Prince is out for this game. So I think Bazemore plays 32, 34 minutes still, and he's averaged just over a fantasy point per minute. So pretty easy for him to pay off that price tag. Hey, Bill Cash, DM us on Twitter at LocksDFS. We'll work something out with you. LMA needs a nap. I mean, yeah, what he played 25 minutes yesterday due to foul trouble. I hate playing these Spurs on back-to-back. Yeah, he played 21 minutes because he was in foul trouble. Then the game blew out. I can't believe they lost to the Knicks. That's super embarrassing. But yeah, I don't like playing these Spurs guys on back to backs. They kind of cut the minutes a bit. And then I don't like DeRozan anymore because we talked about before with Derek White back. DeRozan only averages barely over a fantasy point per minute, as opposed to like 1.2 fantasy points per minute when Derek White is off the court. Thoughts on Bembry? Nah, I hate Bembry. I can never play him. Even when he was getting the backup point guard minutes, he just never did anything. He's pretty abysmal. Never plays over, let's see what he's been playing, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't been playing over 22, 24 minutes. Yeah, he's been playing 19, 17, 21, 23, 20 minutes. Been very, very poor. Even at 3.5K, I don't think it's worth a try. I'd rather switch around my position, get to Ryan Arcidiacono at 36 minutes, where I know he's going to play 34, 36 minutes, assuming the game stays close, even though he averages like under 0.7 fantasy points per minute. He's going to get heavy minutes. I'd rather go with a guy like him. You like Clay tonight? I mean, Clay's the same thing every night. 6.7K, shooting guard only. I don't mind him. He's just always a GPP play for me. There's always players I like more around him. So I never really play these Warriors players when everyone's healthy. Best value center, probably Kelly Olynyk. You like Doncic or Lowry better on Deke? I'll probably take the savings on Lowry. Cousins or Whiteside FanDuel. How much is here? I'd probably rather just pay up for Cousins at that point. Idiot 0% ownership with lots of value. I'm going there. I mean, he's limited 25 minutes, so unless you think that he's going to go off in those 25 minutes, which he absolutely could, it's Anthony Davis, but I'm just really not going there. Yeah, see you, Conrad. I'll see you during the private live stream for sure. Hope you guys enjoy these live streams. I'm just listening to some music in the background. It's DraftKings or FanDuel. I mean, I like DraftKings a lot more than FanDuel. Brogdon or Healed FanDuel. I'll take Brogdon there. FanDuel app blows, man. I mean, dude, just yesterday, the fact that they only had a 2-game slate rather than a 3-game just blew my mind. Well, it didn't really blow my mind. It's just I'm kind of used to it for FanDuel. It's just never ceases to amaze me, the decisions they make. Love the Milwaukee-Chicago game stack, especially if Otto sits more shots for Levine and Markkanen. Yeah, man. In 100 minutes, I don't know if you were here earlier, with Otto Porter, Jabari Parker, all these guys, Chris Dunn off the court, Levine averages a 38% usage rating. It's pretty crazy. Who do you pay up for tonight? I mean, I don't think I'm personally going to be paying up for anyone tonight just because all the great value is in the mid-range, the 5 to 7K range. But if I were to, it would be LeBron James. If you go back in this live stream, you can hear me talk about it, why I like LeBron James more than James Harden. I think FanDuel is so much easier to see how you are doing mid-game and how close far you are from cashing. I could see that. I don't know. It's kind of weird with the dropping the lowest score. I just absolutely hate that. It takes a lot of skill out of the game because there's been so many times because I'm mostly a head-to-head player. So if I'm playing a head-to-head player and my total score outscores him by 12, but he beats me because of our lowest scores, that's so stupid and ridiculous, and they should be rewarded for that. Any love for Drew Holiday? Nah. He's on a Minnesota as well as Anthony Davis, so that's why I'm not really going there. As much as I want pieces from this game, If I'm gonna get anyone from New Orleans in this game, it's probably gonna be Alfred Payne, just because I know that he's gonna play 30+ minutes. Um, he should average about a fantasy point per minute, and he's just so cheap. That's why I like him a lot. Kourtney Kardashian or Kim? I'm probably gonna go with Kim there. I mean, there's obviously something wrong with Kourtney if she gets cheated on this much, man. Trae Young and play? Yeah, always. I think Trae Young's fine. Buy Drake all day. I don't know about that one, man. Maybe back then. Tobias or Simmons for the money? For the money, I'll probably go with Tobias. Who's your favorite pump play on DK? Probably Kelly Olynyk. Like Kelly Olynyk, good bit. But I couldn't imagine my girl having a sex tape out that everyone knows about. That shit would be pretty miserable. Yo, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it. Lowry or Levine? I'm gonna take the savings on Levine. I think both of them are great plays tonight, though. How much is Harden playing hurt CP3? Yeah, a ton. It hurts him a ton. And they rose his price, assuming that Harden would be out. Because he was like mid 7Ks, now he's 8.3K. He's priced appropriately, and I just don't think there's much value in it. Would rather pay down $1,000 less and get to Larry Market than to Zach Levine. Levine or Butler? I'm gonna take Levine. Yeah, Lowry versus Simmons. That's a close one. I'm gonna take. It's close, man. What is this thread that you sent me about Drake? I'll read that after the lock. Kevin Love on FanDuel. I mean, he's not bad. Kevin Love would never play him in cash games right now, strictly GPP. But in GPP, I think he has a ton of upside. And when everything is so concentrated tonight, and everybody's going to be chalky, I think it's a great look. Do you hate Lou Williams or something? Nah. I don't mind him. I mean, it's a good matchup against Dallas, but there's just so many other plays. It's just like on 11 game slates like this, there's a bunch of good plays. And while Lou Williams is a great play today, there's just other plays I would much rather have around the same price. And Lou Williams would be a great GPP play just because he's probably going to be sub 10% just compared to everyone else. It's a great day for GPPs, I'll say that. Any Conley love for FanDuel? No, not for me. I think they're kind of cutting his minutes a bit moving forward for the season, as they should. I mean, their season's pretty much done, winding down. They should look at their other players. What about Jared Allen on DK? I don't hate it. Oh, second KD and Curry tonight. I mean, if that game can stay competitive, Charlotte's been one of the worst defense. I think they've been a bottom 3 defense over the past a month or 2 months. I can't remember. I was looking into it, but they've been really bad lately. So I guess I don't mind if the game can stay competitive. It is in Charlotte, so Kemba could hold the game close. And the Warriors just lost to the Rockets without Chris Paul, so who knows what's going on there. What do you do when you're stuck on 2 players? How do you personally handle the situation? I just go back and look at the numbers even more, and then I start nitpicking little things because if I feel confident in both of them, it's just how DFS goes. You're gonna have to choose one of them, and I'll just nitpick the small things until I figure something out. Derek Jones, $10 on Yahoo. Yeah, I think he's a great play. I think he's a great play on FanDuel where he's 3.5K. Don't really want to play him on DraftKings. because he's so closely priced to Kelly Olynyk, and I would much rather have Kelly Olynyk. The minutes were kind of skewed last game due to foul trouble and blowout, where Derek Jones got like it was 8 or 9. I can't remember. I was looking at popcorn machine. I think it was 8 minutes more, 8 or 9 minutes more, just because of blowout and foul trouble. D Rose and Wiggins or Archie and Simmons. I'll go Simmons and Archie. Yeah. Middleton, Brogdon, and Hield to pair with Levine. Just one. Gonna be Middleton for me. Bagley or Aldridge. I'm gonna take Bagley all day. Love Bagley. Now, we saw Bielitsa. He's completely out of the rotation right now. He hasn't played the last 2 games coming out of the All-Star break, and Bagley's played around 35 minutes both games. Put up around 45 fantasy points both games. He's an absolute monster in a game that's projected to be like 237 points right now. And they're going to have to play big against a Minnesota team who is going to have Cat at center. They're going to have Taj and Sarge at the 4. They're going to need Bagley's size. Butler or DeRozan. I'm a fan of Butler 100%. Robin Lopez if I were stacking. I'm not really on Lopez. Best power forward for FanDuel, Bagley. Tyler Johnson revenge. Does he keep it up for 4,800? I mean, it's really not hard given the minutes that he has right now and how depleted the Miami backcourt is. It's pretty easy for him to pay off that price tag. So I don't mind him. I like Elfrid Payton a bit more, but don't mind Tyler Johnson whatsoever. Okay, to stack the Bulls-Bucks game, yeah. Everyone's going to be on it, and for good reason, so I wouldn't want to be behind the field in cash games. You like Joval over Bagley? Yeah, I do like Joval over Bagley, but it's incredibly close. It's such a hard decision for me. Would rather just play both. But if I'm not answering all your guys' questions, because I'm intentionally not entering some of them because I want to keep some of my favorite plays for my members, of course. Don't want to cheat them out of that. Pay for point guard or small forward. I mean, there's really not any small forwards to pay up for. So probably point guard. What about Redick tonight? DK, I'm not really on them. Top 3 plays in Bulls-Bucks game. Probably Bledsoe, Middleton, Levine. Mirotic paired with Brooker? No. Yeah, I think that's fine. Sipping on a Red Bull and tea and water. Best play under 3,700 on DK can be Ryan Archie Diacono. What is the difference between? Okay, so is your member chat better plays or just more plays? What is the difference? Yeah, so I go live personally. It's just like this, except it's 30 to 45 minutes before lock when all the news has come out, and then we get breaking news, and so I'll answer the questions then. But it's more of like 1v1s, 2v2s, helping you guys decide how to create better lineups. And I give away some of my favorite plays that are listed on the cheat sheet, because there's a lot of plays that on the cheat sheet I haven't even mentioned in this live stream just because it's public and I want to leave it more for the members. But yeah, there's a lot of plays that I haven't mentioned that I think are pretty much locks on the day, but obviously kind of leave those for the members. Payton over Tyler Johnson. Yeah, I think I like Payton more than Tyler Johnson. Kept Harrell or Jared Allen. Probably take the savings on Allen. Pick two: DeRozan, Booker, or Russ. I'm gonna take Booker and Russ. I don't like DeRozan with Derek White back at all, ever. Would you fade Brogdon to get Levine, Ben Simmons, but keeping Bledsoe, Middleton? Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, I love all these lineups that we've made today because visually it's a lot better to look at a super balanced lineup where I like all the players rather than be getting a bunch of value and then getting studs, even though that's most of the time that's the correct thing to do. But I think today is one of the few nights where paying down for just the mid range, I think is probably the most optimal thing to do. I personally like the savings with Tobias. Yeah, I think Tobias is a great play. Great play today. What about Booker tonight on DK? I mean, he's been playing a lot better as of late. Because I kept getting him wrong, even though his usage and assist percentage was way over 30%. Over a month or about a month ago, kept playing him over and over and over, and he kept underperforming, even though he was playing 36 minutes. But now with Tyler Johnson, I guess he's playing better, which makes no sense because he actually has a good point guard out there with him. But yeah, I like Booker tonight. I think he's fine against Miami. I can never get Simmons right. He always gets into foul trouble on me. Harris a lock. Yeah, I think Harris might be better point per dollar than Simmons. But Simmons, yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Simmons has like over a 30% usage rating with Embiid off the court this year, but it's not very telling because that's mostly due to Tobias not being on the court. So it's, I think he's a fine play, but I don't think he's as good as people are making it out to be. Middleton or Bagley? I mean, that's really close. It's probably Middleton, but I love Bagley. You think Boban will hit 5x on FanDuel? He's just over 5K over on FanDuel. It's pretty much just a question of how many minutes do you think he'll get. This matchup scares me. I know they have a lot of bigs in Joel Okafor, Check Diallo, Julius Randle, Anthony Davis, but in these fast-paced games, that's where he's really exploited. And so I think his minutes creep down like they did last game. And so if he doesn't get those 18, 20 minutes, I don't think he gets 5x over there on FanDuel. That's why I'm not really on him, especially with his price rising like that. What what about Kemba Walker running back with Curry? Elite GPP stack. I think that's great for GPPs. Bagley, Markkinen, or Griffin and Spy. That's pretty easily Bagley, Markkinen for me. Hey, it shows me that there's 74 likes on this rather than 11, like you guys are seeing. That's a lot. But I appreciate you guys trying to push likes on that. Appreciate the love. The like freeloaders. Come on, man. It was my choice to do this for free. Fave game stack: Chicago, Milwaukee, Philly, Sacramento, Minnesota. It's probably gonna be Chicago, Milwaukee. Gonna be very chalky though. How many lineups you play a day? I'm only playing one lineup each side. Three Bulls and $3 too many. Nah, I think it's fine. Three Bulls is kind of, so I'm assuming you have Levine, Markkinen, and Ryan Archibald. No, I guess that's not bad. And then I'm assuming you also have Brogdon, Middleton, Bledsoe. It's hard for these guys not to hit value with their respective situations. Uh, Zip Zap Sig. Oh yeah. Um, you DM'd me and I asked for your email. So if you just DM me your email, I'll get you set up right after this, and so you'll be in time for the before lock, and you'll be able to watch our private live stream, hop in our private Slack chat, talk to me, view our cheat sheets or our lock sheet rather. What do you think about DeLon? Yeah, I just don't know how to predict those minutes for the Memphis guards. DeLon, Avery Bradley, Mike Conley. It's just hard for me uh, to figure that out. Best value under 4K, probably Olynyk. Definitely Olynyk at 3.9K. Yeah, you got it. Hey, Jude. Who is one of your biggest sleepers for tonight? I'm not really going to give away those plays. Going to leave those mostly for the members. Is it okay to take Bagley over Markin and DK Cash, and is it okay to use Ryan Arcidiacono? SP. I don't know what that means. But is it okay to take Bagley over Markin and DK Cash? Yeah, I think that's fine. The price difference is pretty significant. It's like 1.5K. Don't mind that at all. Yeah, and I think it's definitely fine to play Ryan Arcidiacono. Do you only play Cash? No, I play Cash and GPPs, so. Okay. Do you like Miro? Yeah. So I've been pretty much just waiting and seeing what's going on with this Milwaukee situation. This is the first game without Giannis that Mirotic has been on the team, slowly getting him involved. But I I think to be safe, you project him for 22, 24 minutes. But if he plays 28, 30 minutes, he's going to blow that price tag out of the water. So I guess I don't hate it in cash games, but GPP I think there's a lot of upside in that price tag. Isn't Chris Dunn back? How does Ryan Arcidiacono have value? No, Chris Dunn and Otto Porter are both doubtful to play, and that's why Ryan Arcidiacono isn't playing. Should play. What? Mirotic, Oubre, or Richardson. I'm gonna take Richardson there in cash games. Mike Scott sees a whole lot of runs some reason when Joel Embiid is out. Yeah, it's really dependent on the matchup, and that's why I think Boban's not going to get very minutes today. I think guys like Mike Scott are going to get more run in a fast-paced game rather than a guy like Boban. Not slate related, Fancy Labs or Fancy Cruncher. If you're talking about like multi-entering GPPs and creating lineups with those kind of tools, Fancy Cruncher for sure. 6.8K for Tobias just too cheap. Yeah, I agree. Derek Jones as a sleeper. Yeah, I'm pretty skeptical on him on DraftKings. FanDuel, I think at min price, and you can drop the lowest score. I like him a ton, but I think people are expecting too much out of him just because last game, if you look at Popcorn Machine, like I've talked about in my videos many times before, last game he received extra minutes because Kelly Olynyk ran into early foul trouble, and then the game ended up blowing out, so he got blowout run. So he got like 8 or 9 extra minutes just due to blowout and foul trouble of other people. So don't like to rely on those kind of things. So if he only gets 18, 20 minutes, I don't think he is that great of a play on DraftKings. Would rather pay up for someone like Kelly Olynyk. Not slate related. Yankees will win the World Series. Dude, I'm so excited for baseball. You have no idea. Every time I've been watching some of these spring training games, very, very excited. Hey, appreciate it, Patricia. Patricia? Sorry if I butchered your name. Who you like besides Whiteside on Miami? Yeah, Kelly Olynyk I like a lot, and I like Dwayne Wade quite a bit. I think Deion Waiters is a solid value play. I think he'll be pretty chalky. But if I have a couple hundred, I'd rather get up to Dwayne Wade, if not Brogdon or Derrick Rose, assuming Jeff Teague is out. Who's your MLB squad? I don't really have a favorite team. Um, I am from Kansas, so I do cheer for the Royals, but they make it really, really hard to cheer for them, especially this year. It's abysmal, their team. You might as well put them up there with the Marlins and the Orioles. I like Waiters tonight on Miami, set up to get 30 plus DK points. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Lowry or Tobias? I'd rather take the savings on Tobias there. Baltimore fan. That's one of the two teams that are might be worse than the Royals. Them and the Marlins. It's gonna be a rough year for us. Yo, we're 8 likes away from 100 likes. Can we get there? Drop a like would be much appreciated. We got 5 more minutes on this live stream. Gonna be doing this Monday through Friday. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't already. Is Lowry too expensive on FanDuel? 8.9K is kind of steep. It's hard for me not to like him though. I am still enticed by it, but I do like Tobias Harris and Bagley over there for a bit cheaper as well. Hey, easy on the Marlins. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna score runs, especially in that ballpark. It's looking rough. Ending right before the deeper dive. Smart man. Yeah, 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 yeah. We know what we're doing. Diallo or Lopez. I'm gonna take Lopez there. I don't think Diallo with I don't think Diallo pushes more than 28 minutes with Anthony Davis out, or with Anthony Davis in rather. Hey, we got up to 100 likes. I appreciate it, guys. Bagley Tobias or Bagley Lowry. Probably take the savings on Bagley Tobias. It's really close though. Is Gallinari with 7.1K on FanDuel? I mean, it's a solid matchup against the Dallas Mavericks. Pretty shitful on defense. They are a bit better at home, but his minutes limit has been lifted, which is another reason why I don't like Lou Williams all that much. I know a lot of you guys were talking about him earlier, but 7.1K, I don't hate it. It's really a decision between you play Gallinari at 7.1K, assuming you play Derek Jones, and so your second small forward you play Josh Richardson at 6.4K. That's a decision. I think I like Josh Richardson a little bit more, but wouldn't blame me if you play Gallinari. Bagley or Love? Bagley. Love and GPP, but Bagley for me. Valanciunas or Whiteside? J Val for sure. I mean, J Val has just as much upside as Whiteside. And J Val has shown that that they're willing to play him these 30 minutes like he should be playing. Just last game, he played 30 minutes and he absolutely destroyed it. So, and he's facing a Lakers team who's just shitful versus centers. I guess Gallinari having ownership for the sole reason to have a player from the last game. I mean, that's how. Yeah, some players are just like that. Some DFS players. Olynyk or Derek Jones? Yeah, Olynyk for sure. Not Slater, really. Yankees. You just said that. I wouldn't be surprised though. What's your thoughts on Kuzma in tournament playing the ownership game? I don't mind him. I guess I hate that LeBron is back for him. He just really doesn't perform that all that well. But he's just so scoring dependent. That's why I never play Kyle Kuzma. But in GPPs, I guess it's fine. Just because scoring dependent players are great in GPPs just because they are so volatile. So guys like him, Lou Williams, are always great, and Buddy Hield, always great in GPPs. D Rose or Tyus Jones? Yeah. So if Jeff Teague's out, I think both of them become viable. I think Derrick Rose is one of the best players on the slate. Tyus Jones, it's going to be hard for me to play Tyus Jones just because you can play Ryan Arcidiacono in that same price range, and I know Ryan will end up playing like 34, 36 minutes as opposed to Tyus Jones probably playing 22, 24, 26 minutes. So yeah, Pepsi or Coke, probably Coke, but Dr. Pepper is my favorite pop, but I don't really drink pop all that much. I just have, you should see my fridge. I just buy, I think I buy like 48 sugar-free Red Bulls at a time when I go to Costco. It's really bad. It's probably killing me very slowly. Would you go Brogdon over Middleton to save 800 on FanDuel? No, I would not, unless you really needed that money. My antibiotics, right? How many minutes do you think Harkless would get? Probably 22. That's funny, Shane. DraftKings GBP, Buddy Hield or Jimmy Butler? I'm taking Butler still. Careful with those Red Bulls. I mean, I don't drink too many a day, but I just drink them so frequently. That's the bad thing. All right, guys. It is 4 o'clock Central Time, 5 o'clock Eastern Time. I will be in the Slack chat answering questions from members, updating the cheat sheet, and I will be in the private live stream 30 to 45 minutes before lock to answer all the members' questions. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please drop a like. Please subscribe. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. It was fun for me. Wait, okay. I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay, I'm waiting. Yeah, they're both great plays. Love both of them. All right, guys. Yeah, they're fine together. All right, guys. Best of luck until tomorrow. Peace.